Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Kakadash. Welcome to the elders, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of January the 16th, 2025 on this Thursday afternoon. And it says a news article from the Telegraph from RT.com as of January 16, 2025. And it reads from World News. UK and France secretly discussing troops for Ukraine. London is reportedly hesitant about the idea, according to the government sources. It says British Prime Minister and French President Macron has discussed sending soldiers to Ukraine as a peacekeeping force, the Telegraph has claimed, citing anonymous sources. Ukraine Vladimir Zelensky first mentioned the idea last week. It said he would discuss the Stormer when he visits Kharkiv. According to the British outlet, however, Stormer is not fully on board yet. There are challenges over what we could support and what would we want to support, and the broader question about the threat that troops may be under whether there is a escalatory. The Telegraph quoted the Whitehall source as saying in Wednesday's evening. The spokespeople for 10 Downing Streets and the Al-Salih Palace denied the Stormer and Marketing discussed the peacekeeping possibility last week at the Chancellor's estate in the UK. It said, but gave no details about the conversation. Stormer was in Kharkiv on Thursday, promising a 100-year partnership pact with Ukraine. One of the rumors plans U.S. President-elect Donald Trump might propose after taking office next Monday involves Western troops deployed as peacekeepers along the demilitarized zone between Russia and Ukraine, supposedly running along the current line of conflict. No U.S. forces would be involved. Only European soldiers not acting under NATO command, according to the media reports that have been impossible to ratify. Marketing reportedly brought up the idea of European peacekeepers with the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk last month, but Warsaw said it was not planning any such actions. Earlier this week, Zelensky wrote on social media that he discussed the key allies the practice steps for implementation of peacekeeping idea. We are getting slightly ahead of ourselves, and we are not there yet, one British official told the Telegraph. Bring up that Matthews. So there's a sign of wars and rumors of wars. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. While we have the Russia-Ukraine situation is heating up as well too. Matthew 24 verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but then it's not yet. Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. It says Gaza's trust signed despite last-minute issues. Trump's named 3 legendary actors as a special envoy to Hollywood. Reporter forcibly removed from Blinken's last briefing. It says Google refused to add fact checks despite EU pressure. It says Israel strike hits hostage detention site, Hamas report. It says the EU state prime minister open to talks on gas with Ukraine. And this is a news article from the RT.com as of January 16, 2025. As we've been seeing occupations from the Israel Defense Force over there in the Golden Heights and over there in the buffer zone over there in Syria as well too, as I add a side note to that. And this is a news article from RT.com as of January 16, 2025, and it reads, Syrian military leader demands Israeli withdrawal, which is highly unlikely that's going to happen. It says the Al-Juli wants the UN peacekeepers deployed in the Golden Heights. It says the Israeli troops have advanced into Syria, should withdraw, and the UN peacekeepers ought to deploy in the buffer zone. The head of the militants who took power in Damascus, Abdul Muhammad al-Junaid, has demanded Aman Hassan al-Shura, best known by his Nom de Gros, is the head of the Hayat Shura al-Sham, HTC, which seized power in Damascus last month, more than a decade of fighting against President Bashar al-Assad. It says the Israeli Defense Force, the IDF, used the opportunity to advance beyond their previous positions in the Golden Heights and seized the strategic Mount Hermon. Israel's advance in the region was due to the presence of Iranian militants and Hezbollah. Al-Jawahiri told Reuters on Thursday, arguing that the president is no more.
Man will become distracted by his own arrogant thoughts, which I will explain. This will be my victory.
It says,
oh God.
Russian troops storm Ukraine positions. And this is a news article from RT.com World News as of January 16, 2025. It reads, a school stabbing in EU country leaves 2 dead. The teenage suspect allegedly stabbed a teacher and a classmates in eastern Slovakia. It says a ninth welding student killed 2 people and critically injured a third in an attack at a grammar school in Slovak town of Specialka of Taravets on Thursday. The predator fled the scene but was arrested shortly after. The 18-year-old student attacks 2 classmates and a teacher, according to a proof statement released immediately after the incident. The police spokesperson later told the Slovakian broadcaster SMC that 2 of the 3 victims have died, while the third was in critical condition. It says the spokesperson said that it remains unclear whether anyone was injured. The student fled the scene, prompting a police manhunt around the Spica Starovets, a town of around 2,000 people in Slovakia's Polish border. And he was apprehended shortly after, according to a police update.
Hold it, mister. Here's new Charmin Ultra Strong.
I got that scripture.
You can count on it.
It's the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, disgrace of nations with perplexities raised ruin. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And this is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, and their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out the peas of wrath for him that made it. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 3. There shall be seen earthquakes, uproars, people in the world. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, 15 and verse 15. It says, for the sword that the scorcher draw off God, and one people should stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands, as we know moderate swords weapon. 2nd Ezra 15 verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor their princes, in the course of action stand in power. It's the book of Second Timothy's 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And let's bring us some more news articles. And this is a news article as of January the 16th, 2025. As we've been seeing, the Russia-Ukraine situation been intensifying ever since February 2022 all the way into 2025. It says Russian troops storms Ukrainian positions. It says a clip shows the destruction of a German-style tank in a assault on enemy trenches. It says Russian forces have successfully taken a Ukrainian fortified position near the strategic Donbass in the Parklava. The defense ministry in Moscow stated on Thursday. A video provided by the military shows a operational during which the Ukrainian tank in a German-made Leopard was destroyed. The clip starred with the aerial footage taken from a drone hovering above a Ukrainian tank that has taken position on a dirt road going through a small village. A first-person view camera shows Russian drones zeroing in on the target and striking what appears to be a German-made Leopard. The second part of the video shows a fortified Ukrainian positions that includes deep trenches, outfits, the dugout shelters, and firing positions reinforced with wood. One of these shelters is struck with a suicide drone. The explosions is followed by an assault on another dugout. Russian troops. The clip ends with the soldiers successfully taking over the positions and reporting of the enemy's casualties. That scripture. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus 3 verse 8. In a time of love, in a time of HATE, in a time of war, in a time of peace. And this is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3 and verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. St. Mark 3 verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. St. Mark 3 verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself, be divided, cannot stand, they have to give. And this is the book of St. Mark 13 and verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. St. Mark 13 and verse 8. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, which is only going to continue to increase because we're living in modern day biblical signs and signs of times. So more increasing wars and rumors of wars, more increasing nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, more earthquakes in diverse places, and more famines and troubles, beginning of sorrows, which we're going to continue to see. This is the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man. All the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, as we said. This is continually, increasingly being proclaimed among the Gentile or the armies of nations. Joel chapter 3 verse 10. Beat your plowshares and swords and pointing hooks and spears, let the weak say I'm strong. Right, let the weak say I'm strong. Of these military armies of nations definitely building up their nuclear capability against the adversaries. Now we're starting to see let the weak say I'm strong now, so more than ever. And this is the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelations 11 verse 14. The second will pass, behold, third will come quickly. Right, so second will pass. Now we're in the stages of third will come quickly, which is Armageddon. Armageddon 1. Like second will distress came to pass. Now the third will distress coming quickly. So we're going to be seeing more increasing wars and rumors of wars, more increasing nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, more seditions, uprisings, and uproars speaking the world. So the second world distress came to pass. Now the third world distress coming quickly, which we're seeing in progress. bring us some more prophecy updates from different news articles. It says Netanyahu's last-minute crisis with Hamas holding up the approval of the Gaza Trust hostage deal. It says Netanyahu's officials said the cabinet won't meet to approve the agreement until Hamas backs down. Senior Hamas officials says the group is committed to the ceasefire agreement, which was announced by the meditators. Yemen Houthis to continue attack if the ceasefire breach. It says the Houthis attacked since November 2023 forced some ships to take the long route around southern Africa rather than the Suez Canal. The armed group also launched missiles and drones towards Israel. It says U.S. says Gaza ceasefire to start as planned despite losing in. It says Libya's oil chief Farhad Bandara quits for urgent health reasons. UN security calls for a swift formation of government in Lebanon. It says Arab League condemns attacks in Sudan on Africa's largest hydropower dam. It says the EU issues sanctions on Sudanese army's chief Bartham. It says Lebanese president seeks Israel's commitment to Gaza's deal, warns against violations. Blinken says he feels real regret at failure to end Sudan war. It says a mere 10 sources expect the Houthis to halt Red Sea attacks after Gaza deal.
Yes, I think we definitely are.
Attack used to be a thing that made me really happy, but now it's destroying me. I feel sad.
Shut your face up, Sable. Has anyone seen the bright?
It says death toll in the Israeli strikes on Gaza since the ceasefire deal rises to 77 sources, residents say. It says Spain raises flag at Damascus embassy after 12-year closure. It says Qatar demands Israel's immediately withdraw from the Syrian's buffer zone. And this is a news article from ArabNews.com, and it reads that Israelis' occupation seas of a buffer zone is reckless, and they act and must immediately withdraw, Sheikh Mohammed says. Qatar demands Israel immediately withdraw from its buffer zone with Syria, which is highly unlikely right now at the moment. It says on Thursday, a visit to Damascus after Israeli troops has entered the area following the Bashar Assad's fall. It says the Israeli occupation seas of the buffer zone is a reckless and act and must immediately withdraw. The Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdurrahman bin Basham al-Tanai said at a press conference with Syrian leader Ahmad Hassara. Sheikh Mohammed also vows to support the rehabilitation of Syria's infrastructure devastation by nearly 14 years of civil war. We will provide necessary technical support to make the infrastructure operation again and provide to the electric sectors, said Sheikh Mohammed during the press conference, and with Ahmad during a joint press conference with Ahmad al-Shura, adding that the Qatar extended his hand out Syrian brothers for future partnership. The Prime Minister added that Qatar will supply Syria with 200 megawatts of electricity that will be gradually increasing.
We go to the wedding, we try to tag him, we fail, and we mess up the wedding? That's not a cool move. That's a dick move. That's not what friends do. It's what assholes do. Holy, he faked a phony miscarriage.
Is a miscarriage of justice.
This is why we get him. He deserves pay. Even if we want to do that.
This is Anthony Blinken feels real regret as a failure to end Sudan war. It is for me, yes, another regret. Then when it comes to Sudan, Blinken says there have been some improvements of getting humanitarian assistance through the diplomacy. Ongoing U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said Thursday that he regrets in his instability to end the brutal war in Sudan and voiced hope that President-elect Trump administration will keep trying. It's for me, yes, another regret that when it comes to Sudan, right? Sudan may have been going through heavy famines, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom in that area. We have been able on our watch to get that day of success, Blinken says, a farewell news conference. There have been some improvements in getting humanitarian assistance and through our diplomacy, but not the end to the conflict, not an end to the abuse, not an end to the suffering of our people, he said. We will keep working for the next 3 days, and I hope the next administration will take that as one as well, he said. Blinken last week determined that the preliminary rapid support forces at war with Sudan armies since April 2023 has committed genocide. Blinken said that the army has also committed war crimes and it continues to target civilians and regret his refusal to engage in a series of ceasefire talks. That was that First Thessalonians.
Because that would be terrible. But if you ever do have a miscarriage, I don't want to say that you would deserve it, because that's too far, but what I will say, and what I do feel, is that's what you get.
This is the book of First Thessalonians 5 verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, such trust come upon them as they travail with woman and child, they shall not escape.
Have fun and relax. Are we cool?
Yeah. Sorry, not cool yet. He did murder a child.
Let's check out some more news articles from News Now.
Inside of you, but the actual inner child got decapitated. Head blew up, did flips in the air, blood spurting everywhere.
Okay. Jerry has a perfect record. And we're a team now. The winning team. And I just feel like, Hoagie, if you're gonna play a children's game,
It says what to know about the quademic of flu, norovirus, COVID, and RSV in the U.S. from ABC News. It says Israel preparing for a return of hostages after ceasefire agreement. It says impeach Young Home's silence and sale as legal political battles rages in South Korea. Right, it goes into that Luke 21 verse 25. It says Navy warships to leave the Red Sea fight for weeks to reload their missiles. A Navy security says.
There was jail time involved. I briefly converted to Islam. During that time, I got to know Jerry and Susan as a couple.
It says Republicans eye big defense spending boosts in a party line bill. The U.S. Customs agents intercepts contraband cars heading overseas. It says the U.S. chief calls for a $2.6 billion to support Ukraine 2025 humanitarian plan. It says Trudeau creates a U.S.-Canada Council amending Trump's tariff threat. It says Zimbabwe's president sworn in amending tight security protests.
It's not dog food. It's fresh veg. Real meat, real veggies. For Peter. That's Peter. Shut up. They make a pretty cute couple.
It says Syrian's new administration condemns Israeli inclusions after strike in southern Syria kills 3.
Helps you continuous protection when taking every other month, and it's proven superior to once daily prep in reducing the risk of HIV. You must be HIV.
It says Armenia and Azerbaijan agrees to continue border delimitation from north to the south.
Apertute does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Get Apertute to schedule. Missing doses increases your HIV risk. Don't take Apertute if you're allergic to it or take
It says as Pakistani officials in Delhi react to U.S. sanctions on Pakistan ballistic missile program.
Problems and depression. If these occur, get medical help right away. The most common side effect is injection site reaction. You bring your A game to everything you do. Ask your doctor about Apertute.
It says from Voice of America, the VOA, why the India and China border dispute remains difficult to resolve.
Subway's got a new meal of the day. Chips and a drink for just $6.99. Or if you're big hungry, maybe a football for only $3 more. Big hungry, is that a thing? That should be a thing. Find your friend. The all new $6.99 meal of the day at Subway.
It says UK leader Starmer signs a 100-year partnership agreement with Ukraine during a trip to Kyiv. You see what that's all about.
Enjoying a fresh gourmet meal at home that you didn't have to cook. Upgrade your plate with Factor. Chef crafted, dietitian approved, ready in 2 minutes. Eat smart with Factor.
It says in 2025, UK will reportedly give Ukraine more military support than ever from Associated Press as of January 16, 2025 at 3:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says UK leader Starmer signs a 100-year partnership agreement with Ukraine during the trip to Kyiv. It says UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer signs a 100-year partnership agreement with Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky on Thursday as part of the European shows of support promised to keep helping Ukraine endure its nearly 3-year war in Russia. It says the announcement comes days before Trump is sworn in as the U.S. president. Its skepticism of America's military burden in Europe is what it says it plans to end the potential biggest conflict since the World War II. It says U.S. puts sanctions on Sudan's military chief, citing civilian suffering.
That spice is 10 out of 10. Would recommend. Hi, my name is Keisha, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick of the chicken. It's just the right amount of heat. It gets me excited and definitely wanting more. And then, pro tip, add that cilantro lime sauce. I couldn't get enough of that sauce. It cools it down. If the sandwich is at 100, the cilantro lime
it says the VOA tensions deepening between Kurdistan regions, Baghdad, from Voice of America. Yeah, this says Iraqi forces conduct joint operation against IS. So with that, hopefully this sit down was edifying of the prophecy updates as of January 16th, 2025 on this Thursday afternoon. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash, rock a thumb to the elders for Akim Akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.